Hello again, Chase the Traveler with a new episode in this freezing cold weather. Anyway, I'm in Sannomiya again, my favorite little spot. So, a lot of people want to know, how much money do you need to live comfortably in Japan? When I'm talking about Japan, I'm talking about Osaka and this area right over here. Now, I'm going to tell you, you don't even need that much. In the past, you used to need quite a bit, but now you can get away with $1,500 a month. Are you going to live exceptionally well? No. Are you going to be able to have like a car, like a regular car that people around here drive? Yes. I mean, you have a lot of compact cars over here. So at $1,500, you can probably get like a 2DK. 2DK means 2 rooms. I wouldn't call it a bedroom. Not like the bedrooms that you see at home in the US. It's like a room. You get a dining room and a kitchen. You're not going to get the kind of dining rooms that you get at home. It'll be like the bare minimum. And that's pretty much how it is over here. Now, on the low end, you can pay around $400 for rent, and you can go as high as you want. And the amount that you pay, no matter how low it is, isn't going to affect your security. So you can definitely get by on $1,500 per month. You can even have probably 2 kids and get by with that. Now, you're not going to be eating out every single week and going to the finest restaurants. I mean, obviously, if you're by yourself, that's way better. But I don't think you're going to be struggling if you manage your money properly. Japan's that kind of place. I mean, for all the things that go on here that I like and I don't like, this is one of the things that I do like, where you can actually live here. And I would even go as far to say, as with $1,500 a month, you can sometimes splurge and go to like a really nice place. Again, if you manage your money properly. I think in Japan, I don't think that people who make less than 1,000,000 yen per year, that's like 7,000 or something. But in US terms, it's like 10,000, but it's not really 10,000. I don't think they have to pay taxes or a lot in taxes, or, you know, it's like really, really small. So for $1,500, you can probably have a small car, get good insurance. I'm talking about healthcare and car insurance. You can probably even buy a house if you wanted to on that much. I mean, you're not going to live in the center of the city, but you could probably live 30 minutes, at the most an hour away from one of these big cities. Yeah, 1,500 could do that. Now, if I had to compare it to America, I mean, you're not going to get away with being middle class on $1,500. I mean, those taxes, I don't know where those taxes are going, but they're definitely not going to American people. Now in Japan, those taxes are coming back to the people. So I gotta hand it to them. I mean, in America, I don't think that, again, if you're making like 1,500, I don't know, I mean, you're not going to be able to afford a lot of things. You're going to be I mean, I would even say that on $1,500 in Japan, you could even save money if you really, really wanted to. Now, if you did that alone, you might not be able to get a girlfriend, but I mean, if you did that for a year or two just to save, I would say, I mean, if I was doing it, I could definitely put $700-800 away. When I first got here, I mean, I'm going to tell you, I mean, I wanted to save so badly that I remember eating once a day. And I was like, the money was coming in. I was like, no, I got to save that money. I got to put that money away. I was eating once a day. And for a while, I was working 7 days a week. I mean, I think I did that for like 2 or 3 years. Because I mean, I was like, no, this money is not going to last. I've got to keep going until it's gone. And eventually the teaching money just definitely did disappear. But for sure, you know, I mean, $1,500 in Japan, I think that's like, it could give you like Niju-man or Niju-niman, Niju-sanman, like 220 or 230,000 yen. So pretty much your college graduate getting out of college like a normal guy is probably making like 250, and some of them are actually making 200,000. So $1,500 over here has a little bit of magic to it. So if you're making passive income at home and you want to come over here to live on 1,500, I mean, you could eat 3 square meals a day. You could probably even go to your favorite restaurant once or twice a week, even if it's a little bit pricey. I mean, your average restaurant over here, your average meal is going to cost you less than $10. If you go to one of these high-end department stores in the basement, I'm going to do an episode on that. That's where like the good food is at. I mean, you're spending maybe $10, $15 at the most to eat right. And a lot of foreigners probably don't understand this, but a lot of times when you come to Japan and you think that you are going to be eating healthy food all day long, is ridiculous. There is so much unhealthy food in Japan. I mean tonkatsu, okonomiyaki. I mean, don't even get me started. Now, those people that were online right there, they're waiting to go into their famous restaurant. So I've done that a few times, but once you wait in line to eat some food and then it's not that good, you don't do that very often anymore. But I mean, honestly, I just don't think that it's worth it waiting online to go eat something. I mean, you're waiting 30 minutes and all of a sudden the food is like not as good as you think. And that happens most of the time. Anyway, let's get back to the subject. I would say an apartment like this, pretty much just from the layout and the setup, this is probably like one room. That's the entrance. You're probably gonna pay maybe $60,000, $70,000. That's probably like $500 a month for one room in there. And it's gonna look pretty modern. I mean, you're gonna have, the bathroom is going to work. The doors are going to function properly. You can open and close them without struggling. When I was in South America, I mean, it looked good in some places, but you have to struggle to open and close the doors. So the construction is good. And again, I mean, most Japanese people, again, they drive these compact cars. I mean, you could look. You've got one decent sized car, and the rest are pretty much small. Even the trucks are small. Yes, some trucks are bigger than that, but you get the idea. I mean, if you want like a small, a minimalistic kind of life, and you just want to make it on 1005, then it's going to happen. It's definitely going to happen. Like I said, you'll be driving one of these. Hustler. Or one of these. And yes, you do have some normal sized ones, but again, most of the cars are small. And you know, Japanese do construction pretty well. I mean, you've got like this netting so that nothing falls on top of you. So, I mean, if you're not that, I would say, ambitious, and you're okay with $1,500 a month, and you make that in passive income, or you come to Japan and you just expect to make $1,500, you don't want to make any more, you're not aspiring to anything more than that, then Japan can work for you. I mean, for me at the beginning, I just wanted to make it. I mean, I've known a lot of foreigners over here who had big dreams. I mean, they were going to be on TV. They were on TV. They were going to become huge stars like what you see in America and make a boatload of cash. Didn't happen. But if you're satisfied with 1,500, then Japan can be your oyster. Japan can most certainly be a place where you might enjoy. Most certainly. I mean, you know, if you live really small, I mean, you know, you could probably even live, I mean, if you don't mind and you don't care, you could probably get an apartment for like $150 in Japan if you wanted to, if you looked hard enough. I mean, some people do it. It can most certainly be done. But how long can you do it for? Some people do it for quite a bit. Now, myself, I'm through with that. I mean, I think the cheapest I paid for an apartment over here was maybe... the cheapest I've paid for an apartment over here was probably 50,000 yen. And at that time, I think that the owner of that building was part of the Yakuza. And after a year, it like went up like 30%. And I'm like, what? That was funny. But that's the cheapest I paid. So of course, you know, there are many good things about Japan. I guess this is one of them. Being able to live a minimalistic lifestyle. Not have to spend a lot of money. You could be safe. Not sure how good it's going to be though, but it can be done. It can be I would say depending on your personality, it can be okay. But if you want to be exceptional in Japan, if you want to be like a cut above the rest in terms of like how much money you're making, I mean, you're not super rich, you need about gojuman. That's about maybe, right now, probably $4,000, $3,800. I mean, I don't know. I mean, the math is not, I mean, I haven't looked at what the yen is doing right now, so I can't calculate properly. But if you're making gojuman a month, then in Japan, you're making a good salary. The women are going to be pretty happy with you. The ladies are going to be like, oh, you'll be like, that's good enough to have a family. You could probably have like 3 or 4 kids on that. I mean, if you worked at it, you could probably have 3 or 4 kids on $1,500 a month if you really wanted to. I mean, you might struggle a little bit, but it can happen. So, I mean, I know a lot of you out there have told me about how you don't care about making a lot of cash, and it's all about the experience of living in Japan. That's what you guys want. So that's why I'm making this video. For those of you who don't give a damn about the cash, who basically just want to come to Japan and live. And now you know how much you kind of need. So if you plan right and save a little bit, after a while, you might just have enough to be able to live, or maybe even live the life that you want with just a little bit. But I don't know, but I honestly, I think that I think the life over here is going to get a lot cheaper too. I honestly do. I think that the yen's going to go down further next year. I mean, like I said, I told you guys that I believe $1 is going to equal 200 yen. Again, I'm not trained in this sort of thing, but just based on what I've seen so far, $1 is going to be 200 yen within the next 5 years for sure. Absolutely. Now, this is an apartment right there, right in front of us. I think that you can probably get a 2DK, 2LDK, meaning living room, LDK. L is for living room, D is for dining room, K is for kitchen. You can probably get a $2LDK, living room, dining room, and kitchen, for about, I'd say that building, 80,000 yen. Now, if you want to live over here and dry your clothes out like that, and I guess that'll be your front door. I've seen places like that that look the same in South America. Now you could probably get something like that for about 40,000 yen per month. So that's like 250 bucks, 200 bucks a month. Now the thing about Japan is that right next to the $200-300 a month apartment, you have this apartment right here. It's about 3 floors. It could be like a good 2,000 square feet, or maybe even more than 2,000 square feet, 3,000 square feet. And in Japan, the person who lives here would probably be considered rich. So he's definitely making more than Gojiman a month. He's got 3 floors. And that's the building that I was talking about. You're probably going to be able to live here for about 80,000, 90,000 yen per month. And they're living right next to this guy right over here. So on this street, you have poor people, you have rich people, and you have normal people. That's the thing about Japan that you don't see in a lot of other countries. You don't see that where, I mean, especially in America, where you've got like the person across the street is rich, the person like a couple yards away is normal, and the other person is kind of like struggling, but not struggling. Now over here, same kind of setup. You have, you know, in Japan, you have like apartments like this, where pretty much most of them are like 1 room or 1 bedrooms. And they're pretty much, again, I'd say 50,000, 60,000. But you could also get 2 bedrooms or 2 rooms, a dining room and a kitchen for about the same price. Not in this area. So, it's definitely quite interesting. It is quite interesting. And actually, this area is not bad. I mean, you're actually close to downtown. So, 15-minute walk. I mean, I've just walked just a couple minutes. And with the 15-minute walk, you're kind of like in a residential area, but you were in a commercial area 20 minutes ago. So, not bad. Not bad, not bad. So that's the thing about Japan. I mean, again, you don't need a lot of cash to do a lot of things. Yes, yes. Enjoy it. But, anyway. So, Chase the Traveler with another episode on $1,500. What can you do? Can you live with that amount in Japan? And the answer is absolutely yes, you can. Can you live with less than that, like $1,000 a month? Yeah, you could probably do that too if you really had to. I wouldn't recommend it. But anyway, thank you very much. See you in the next episode.